Hey, it's me. There's a relationship inside each of us, one that quietly shapes everything. It's the relationship between your everyday ego and the deeper life force within you. Some call it the real self, others might call it divine intelligence, soul, or simply life. Whatever name you give it, it's the most important relationship you'll ever have. When that relationship is healthy, everything begins to align. Life opens, peace deepens. Fulfillment becomes more than a concept, it becomes a lived experience. And that's what we're really exploring in every conversation here. Different doorways into that sacred reconnection. So let's start with the life force itself. What is it? Well, it's not a theory or a philosophy. It's life alive in you right now. It's the consciousness that never dies, the energy that never stops moving. It's wise, vibrant, and filled with pleasure. It creates endlessly, not because it has to, but because creation is its nature. You are not a fragment of that life. You are that life. Your individual consciousness isn't just a piece of the whole. It is the whole, temporarily playing out as you. Over time, as you become more identified with outer self, the ego, we forget this. We forget where we came from, who we really are, and that forgetting creates the illusion of separation, which leads to fear, confusion, and suffering. The life force never leaves, though. It's always right here, not waiting to show up, waiting for you to notice. The more you notice it, the more it flows. Not because you're forcing it, but when you allow it. It's not something you can control or squeeze out with effort. You can only clear the way for it by telling the truth about who you are right now. So this means turning inward with honesty, seeing your patterns, your fears, your illusions, not to judge them, not to fix them, to meet them. Because every time you do, something opens. The spontaneous movement of life begins to stir again. And it often surprises you in how it guides you, how it solves problems you couldn't figure out, how it brings a fresh aliveness to things that once felt dull. There is a paradox. As much as we long for that connection, we're also afraid of it. We fear letting go of control. We fear the involuntary processes, the ones that arise without effort, without pushing. We even fear the aliveness we're seeking. And underneath that fear is something even subtler, something we don't talk about much. Shame. Not the shame of having done something wrong. This is deeper. It's the shame of being seen, like really seen. The shame of exposing your real self. Even when there's love inside, even when there's beauty, something in us whispers, don't show that. It's too raw, too tender, too real. So we create masks, we pretend, and not always in obvious ways. Sometimes we fake even the things we actually feel. We turn real love into performance, real sadness into dramatization, real pleasure into a kind of show. We're not being dishonest. It's more because being real feels too naked. And so we cover it up, even from ourselves. But this pretending numbs us. It cuts us off from the very life we're here to live. And it builds a wall between our ego and the universal energy waiting within. That's why this path isn't about striving to be perfect. It's about daring to be real. Even when real means confused, even when real means scared or uncertain, especially then. The moment you let yourself be as you are, without trying to fix or fake it, something sacred happens. The universal life principle begins to flow through you again. Not later, not in some other world. Now, right here in your so-called ordinary life. This is what the story of Eden is really about. The nakedness of Adam and Eve wasn't just physical. It was symbolic of this very thing, the vulnerability of simply being. And the moment we covered ourselves, we left paradise. It's not that we were punished. It's because we chose separation. Now, the good news, you can return. It's not by becoming someone else, by becoming you, the unedited, unmasked, beautifully imperfect you. At first, this may feel like death to the ego. It might feel like losing control or dissolving into nothingness. That's an illusion. The ego doesn't disappear. It reconnects. It finally finds its place as a trusted steward rather than a panicked controller. And in that letting go, a new kind of safety arises. One that doesn't come from clinging to fixed ideas, rather from trusting the movement of life itself. You stop needing to know everything. You stop needing to protect yourself from every feeling. And strangely, you become more powerful, not less. You find that the more you give of yourself, the more energy you have. The more you let life flow through you, the more you become life. And eventually, the fear fades. Even the shame begins to soften. Because you realize the thing you were most afraid to show, the real you, is exactly what life was asking for all along. So, I invite you to notice, where might you still be pretending? Where are you holding back your realness? Not because it's bad, but because it feels too exposed. Can you meet yourself there with kindness? This is the quiet doorway to paradise, not in some future world, right here, in the breath you're taking now. Love you. Connect soon.